What's up, everybody? Hello, hello. Another day. We out here. Let me make sure my stream is live. We cooking it up. Day number 21, right? 2021? 21. Sorry about that. 21 update. This. Okay. Day number 21. We're cooking it up. Cooking it up. Cooking it up. Another day, another dollar. Let's go, guys. We have some nice updates. We keep it updating. And we keep our X-Copilot updated every day. We're doing some new stuff. I did work on this overnight. So let's make sure my stream is working and we have audio. We're doing some new stuff. I did work Okay, we good. We got the audio. Yeah, today feeling good. Feeling motivated, I guess. Today is Thursday. Oh man, I thought today was Friday. Yeah, some days I think it's Thursday, it's Friday, it's Friday, it's Thursday. Today is Thursday. We gotta keep it. Today I have a big day today. Yeah, let's get on track. We got the coffee. Let's see here. We got the coffee. Yes, sir. Start your day with some coffee. Not every day, but most days. And also got some water. Make sure we have water here, because you don't want to get dehydrated. All right, man. We're going to keep it cooking. Let's see what we got. We got more demos to do and more dog fooding to do. Let's go see what's going on here, guys. I don't know where to put my camera. I guess this is okay. All right, where are we at? No idea. No idea what's going on. I'm kidding. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at, man? Let's see where we at. Where are we at? My thing's working good? Okay. Pull requests. Do we have anything in flight? No, everything has been closed. Thank God. All right. This a fat unit right here. What happened here? This was a daily digest. Curated is now for you. All right, guys, let's just refresh the page. So, we've done a couple more updates. This is now for you. Okay, I see some layout shift because the numbers. So that is a problem. We're going to have to fix this. Small little detail. Let's just get right into it, get it out of the way. Okay, we have a... Let me make sure I keep updated with like the tabs that I'm working on. We have a small issue, the labels, where it says for you, curated, interacted, etc. They load with layout shift. They initially load with no numbers, and when the DB grabs the info, it shows numbers near it, causing layout shift. Please fix this. Open issue. Okay, there's just some layout shift stuff. I'm not going to bother too much about this. Let's go back. Layout shift. Anyway, here it is. Here's what we got. So we haven't ran this. We did make this durable. It looks like suggested. Let me look here. I don't think we have any. So we did something new. So we did something new where it will look at your previous posts and suggest stuff. So it's no longer just, you can do the takeoff. It's gonna do just like before, but again, this is no longer we renamed it from being curated to now it's a for you, but it's a different for you. It's not one where it tries to get you to engage. It's one where it tries to get you to grow your account. So try to figure this out here. Suggest we no longer have like the numbers, so I'm just trying to figure out. We've done a lot of updates, so I'm just trying to figure. So we do have the regular ones here, you see. So we have the regular. Why is there this? Don't want this scroll bar. I guess we can make it like transparent or something. So we do have multiple stuff. So we have this kind of thing where it looks at your posts and suggests some stuff. So besides just replying, in this case, let's see. Day 19, build log only got 9 views, but the reply flow feature is the kind of concrete shipping detail that resonates with builders. Cursor slowness post got 38 views, showing performance gripes land. Cursor being slow today is a reminder. The tool is only as good as the feedback loop around it. Ship the workflow, not just the feature. What is it talking about? I see. It's literally, the tool is only ship the workflow, not just the feature. What are they talking about? That's crazy, bro. What is that, man? First of all, we can't. We can't just do that. We're not allowed to just open on X with an intent URL. That's too much. We need to, at the very least, still the same thing. Give human input, etc., all that stuff. We're gonna fix this. I'm gonna go back to cursor. Even for suggested stuff where it's like it's making a post by itself, we still need that. So it seems for the suggested post, like a post I should make. Well, so first of all, it just lets me open on X with the AI generated message. Well, the thing is, I still want it to force humans in the loop, especially choose a side slash opinion, then rewrite it in your own words before allowing you to make the post. But here is the main distinction. If you are just making a post on your account, right, the API should allow us to just make a post not replying to anyone, right? So in this case, we do want the flow where users can post directly from the app. Again, this only applies to suggested posts that are not part of the Scout pipeline. Please open an issue and open APR to consolidate this. We should just reuse just slash code that the suggested flow goes through and apply that to the to the post that our AI decides the user should make or okay. We want to play it safe for XUS. Yeah, so again, this is another thing where it is not bad. I like it, but it's still not. It should not allow you to just do this like this. It should just allow you. And then the other thing is, how do you post on X, right? How is it going to detect it? I guess it's going to detect it as your latest post, but it might just be a little bit. So for replies, it's one thing, but and this posted on X button is messed up, and it's also just when you have. So it's a new little feature. Oh my god, we're not even on the right page. It's a new feature, and I need to just kind of fix it a little bit. Let me think, because how does that even work? So we need to figure out a couple of things. This one first. What is this? Open on X. Excuse me? Did I do? Oh no. This is what I posted before. The GitHub outage code got 580 likes. The thing about a review bots failing is a strong opinion that fits the operator voice outage. It's still fresh. If your review bot dies when GitHub does, you didn't build a bot. You built a single point of failure. Run reviews locally, ship from browsers. That's the lesson. What's the lesson, bro? Jeez. And what am I supposed to do with this? That's crazy. Suggest quote. Yeah. It suggested me to quote my own post. I'm confused. Let me just leave this. What is this? It's a reply. Interesting. The Liam thread on AI, not replacing synergy, got 2 views, but the reply rate is low. This is a leftover memory thread where a blunt take on orchestration fits the voice. The AI writes the patch. This is very confusing still. We need to figure. So did I already respond here? I did. I didn't get any views, so why is it suggested? So we need to definitely rework this. 100K record got 89 views. Audience response to blunt revenue takes and a fresh original on the same theme keeps the momentum. 100K MRR is the new hello world. Stop polishing the landing page. Go find tech. Sure. I like this one. It's a little bit better. Open on X. What's it gonna? It's gonna really do with this intent here. Yeah. But we're gonna rewrite this because we don't want to just like AI, and we're gonna force humans to rewrite this. So if I'm gonna be making a post like this, I like this. 100K MRR is a new hello world. Polishing the web is good, but if you don't have paying customers, your first priority should be distribution. Yes, sir. All right. Well, this is decent. It kind of gave us a little bit of suggestion. We rewrote this properly. We made a post, and now the idea is how do we actually, you know, we need to. So that's the thing. It's a lot better if we just make the post from the account, because then we don't need to worry about this whole flow about mark as interacted. So this is something I want to handle next. Let's see. Yeah, that's something we're gonna handle next. So we are already loaded up. We're loaded up here. Guys, if you like this stream, please hit the like button. It helps a lot. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. What are we doing? Yeah, we're just waiting on Cursor, guys. We already threw a bunch of stuff its way. Yeah, we already threw a couple of stuff Cursor's way. We just need to finish it to finish churning. Let's check my dashboard. We are doing some crazy stuff in Mergestorm. I've been updating and working on it like crazy. So we're just gonna keep it cooking. Keep it cooking. Let me see here. Let me just take care of something and I'll be right back. I just need to take care of this one. Please sync up with main and restart. All right, let's go back and let me just finish this up because we did have a yeah, we have another thing here. Let me look. All right, I'll show you guys this. Why not? This is the dashboard. I just need to merge something for Mergestorm. We've been doing kind of crazy stuff here. We are doing, what are we doing? Mergestorm, we're adding some specialists. We're doing some crazy stuff. I'll explain towards the end of the stream. We're doing sticky follow-up hire, and we did a complete refactor of the code base, a refactor, audits and stuff. We still have a couple more audits to go. But for Mergestorm, I mentioned this yesterday, and we're going to be adding this tonight already. We're going to finish up and do some more refactor. But we're adding an additional subspecialist, governance. Governance specialist is going to look through your PRs as they churn. When you do the PRs and when he does the reviews, it's going to make sure that after the second or third review, it's going to do an audit on this PR. So if it starts ballooning, if the reviews is causing it to increase in diff or something weird, it's going to govern. It's going to say, hey, wait a second, what are you doing with this PR? It started like this, and now you're splitting policies. You're doing some edge case chasing. Let's stop that. Let's reverse that, and let's clean this up, and let's move forward. That's what the governance agent is going to do. And also, we're doing sticky follow-up. So that means that initially, if it hired some specialists, it's going to hire the same specialists on follow-up. So here we go. We have security and data and API specialists got hired on this PR for initial review. So what that means that is on follow-up, because they all found one finding, on follow-up, we're also going to invoke these same security data and API specialists. We're going to give them the same per lane memory. And so it's going to invoke the same specialists in order to make sure that they don't find any findings. It's not going to find different. Right now, it doesn't invoke any specialists on follow-up. But at the same time, if one specialist found a finding, think about it like this. If we have first of all, if we have an API, there's a couple of things we're doing. First of all, we're deduping this. We're actually letting an LLM understand a proper synthesized phase. So the finding is going to be a ton better. In addition, we're just making it so that The specialists are actually going to follow through. So when you make an update, it's actually going to make another review and to make sure that this update that you've done is closed, and it's going to check off on that. So it's a couple of really cool updates that just make the whole system better. Price-wise, everything remains the same. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. It's really up to you. You can have the smart router on max mode. I don't know why it's on standard. It should be on max mode always. I don't know why it was on standard. Regardless, standard on max, it'll just invoke more specialists at once, up to 5. But it doesn't mean it'll invoke 5. It usually just does 3 or 4, maybe at worst. And then on follow-ups, it only invoke ones that are actually matter. So let's go back here to our work tab. We continue to work it. So we have this X-Copilot. This is the first one. It looks like I got checked out already. This is just a little bit of hydration with, as you can see, the front-end specialist got invoked. So there's just a little bit of front-end stuff. So we merged it already. Let's go to Cursor. I'm not pretty sure that Cursor is going to... Is it already done with the PR? No, it's still writing the PR, as you can see. So we're just going to give it a second. And meanwhile, I'm going to just start on some other work for Mergestorm. Might as well, so I don't just sit here waiting. I know you guys are going to wait for just a second. I need to fire off the next item because we've been working on this for like 2 days, getting through some audits to get through like refactors and architecture stuff. So let me see. We did merge this PR, so let me tell it, and then we can kind of move forward. I'm using Fable 5 as well, so pretty much going to be using most of my cursor usage on this. We're about 50%, and it's all good. I can probably use the Fable session. But anyway, let's keep moving here. Let me see. We merged the PR. Please sync up with main. Update the synthesis phase plan and tell me what's next. Tell me the difficulty level as well of the next PR and how many have left. We probably have like two, 3 PRs left for Mergestorm to finish the synthesis upgrade. But let's get moving here. Let's go back to Cursor. Yeah, it's just kind of writing this. What's all the updates all about? Let me see. Why is there so many updates? It's because we're just rewiring it so that we have a stance. It asks you for a stance even for the just replies. And also, it's a little bit confusing. This whole suggested stuff, I mean, it suggests a quote, but it doesn't suggest exactly what. Another thing that every little feature is like comes with like so much baggage, and it feels like every time you want to really improve something or do something unique, it's just gonna come with so much baggage. Like in this case, if it does suggested replies, the baggage is how are you supposed to properly detect it, right? I mean, this is still it should still mark it. So our options are we can try to do some weird polling, which we already kind of do with but the replies make sense. The replies are a lot easier to find because for the replies, you're just looking for a X thread ID and you're looking for any replies to it. But when it comes to making a brand new post, you see, you don't have that luxury anymore. You're not able to. You don't have the luxury of just scanning some existing thread. You need to somehow find it. So that's got a little bit of an annoyance. We'll get through it. It's just a little bit of a challenge. I'm trying to see what options I have for this. My simplest option was just if I can make this post from the platform, which is what we want to do, right? So some posts you're gonna have to do off platform, but some suggested stuff, maybe like a to-do list, 3 per day, that's something like that. I think that could be done through the platform, especially if it's done with proper human safeguards, which is what we're adding here. And so actually, while it works, let's just keep on using our product, really. What are we going to do? Just sit here and wait. So let's go and continue. So we do have some posts that got collected. This is 40. Doesn't look that good. So we did update a little bit, like the actual post. So you don't need to open it on X. You can just kind of look at what's going on. So first of all, this is an initial thread. Yes, see? So we try to render it similarly to how X has it. AI is better than human memory and sure helps a professional, especially a doctor. I have been using AI for quite some time regarding patient condition and opinions. It always adds something extra to what I would usually suggest to the patient. Is this guy an actual doctor? I guess it is. So what is suggested replies? What is suggested? Let's see. AI supplements but shouldn't replace. Yes, I agree. Should not replace clinical judgment. And now see the way we upgraded this, guys, is now so the the draft is here, and so you can kind of write while looking at the draft. Does that make sense? The idea is a lot of times if the draft was in the box, you just want to click it, but this way you literally have to type everything in again. And this is important. We're doing it for your own safety, so your account doesn't get banned, pretty much. So we're doing this for your own safety, guys. Make sure that accounts don't get banned. So let's see what we got here. How are we gonna do this? So yeah, just like with lawyers, engineers, and any other profession, AI provides immense help and advantage, but definitely need to double check its results and never blindly trust it. When it comes to the medical field, it only makes it more important. But I believe in the next few years we will see. Okay, that's too long, so it's good. I like how it doesn't let me do it too long. So there it is. Nice and easy. Check my edit. No layout shift. It's still a little bit here. Layout shift on this bottom part, which pisses me off. So we're gonna fix that. You've already, so when this gets added, it creates a layout shift as well, which is an issue. Instead, it should be added somewhere better. So when we check my edit, there's no layout shift anymore when it's like scanning it, but when it shows this, then it causes layout shift and expand the box. Please, can you stabilize the layout, and when it gives me the feedback, please maybe reserve space for it to begin with, so when it flashes, it doesn't cause layout shift. Nice and easy. Open an issue plus APR. And we're just loading it up. I know it's so small, and plus it's actually finished, and I'm not even on the right page, so sorry, guys. It actually finished that PR. It's a single PR, nothing crazy, so this should be good. You can see here on Mergestorm. You guys should be using this, by the way. Mergestorm is it's really nice when you have multiple projects, multiple PRs. If you want to keep track of everything, it makes everything super easy. So you want to use the MG CLI, but if you don't use the CLI, you can actually just adopt a regular. This is a regular PR made with GH. You can click adopt. It will adopt it into an MG stack. It's into an MGPR. It'll just give you a little bit more information about this and give you more way to control it. But you're able to either land this. You can also just close it or archive it. Archiving it is just a front end thing, so you kind of leave it here. But yeah, so that's that. This is old stuff. We're just a lot of times we do some free PR reviews for some clients users who are interested in checking it out. So if you guys want a free PR review, we can hook you up. But you can also just sign up for the free plan and do like 30 of them. So we're doing this. Copilot is still working here. Let's go back and go back to X-Copilot. So this is good, and it's just this layout shift, right? So we can open this on X already with the intent URL. It's all rewritten. It's all commented. We can just hit the reply and kind of move on here. So we got this, and the thing here is once we do that, we can click post it on X. The thing is, this is just a regular thread. So when I click post it on X, see, it will do this looking for your reply. Unfortunately, it can't do that here, right? Because what reply is it going to look for? That's the little disconnect. So the solution I have is like, well, let's just post it from ourselves. Let's not make this one. The issue here is it's kind of confusing. Why am I able to post some things but not other things? But yeah, this is just the flow. We might update it later, but we definitely want the suggested stuff. If we can find a better way to grab the actual, well, actually we can. We don't need to do this. We can actually grab it because the draft that you put We already know the draft. We know what you're gonna say, right? So all we have to do is scan for, but yeah, it's still a little bit messy. It will actually be, it will save us credits if we can just post directly from this platform. And I think for some parts, it's okay. So if you're just making a post on your timeline, or if you're just quoting a post on your timeline, I think that's, you can still do it. We're gonna look into this. So the PR is live. It's gonna take a little bit of time, obviously, to churn. It might be pretty quick though. So we have 2 PRs in flight right now, and let me just check this other Mergestorm so I can get that working. This PR, we have PR4 governance specialist. It's medium hard. Let's just see. Let's get Fable on this, because we're writing the governance specialist, which is the one that's going to kind of make sure that your PRs, when they're getting reviewed, they're not ballooning, and it pretty much, it just double checks. It double checks that the review work that you're doing, that your agents are doing, that it's legit, and it's not ballooning your PR. So again, it's not. It's the scope is per PR. So it just looks at the beginning of the PR, and essentially, if it sees a diff growth, if the diff is growing, hell no, it's gonna be like, yo, what's going on? And it's gonna tell Cyclone to cut it off. You know, it's gonna tell Vortex to just relax. It's gonna override. That's what it's governance. It's like governance. And it's not Cyclone. It has to be Vortex. Why is it Vortex and not Cyclone? Also, we're upgrading to Vortex V2. So after this governance update, we're actually doing a full update. It's been 3 months since we launched. Been going crazy fast. Happy to have some customers, and we've done over 10,000 PR reviews already. So we are growing every single day, every single week. We're scaling, we're growing, and yeah, we're ready for Vortex V2. The models keep getting better. So this is, again, like you think about it, you can build this yourself, right? The first thought that comes to anyone's head is, why don't I just build my own code review loop? You can, you definitely can, but do you really want to spend weeks or even months building multiple specialists, orchestrating them? You have 7, 8 different specialists, orchestrating them. Yet now you have to pay for credits. Remember, you're also going to have to pay for credits. You have to optimize this. You're going to have to choose different models. You have to deal with errors. You're going to have to hook up all the webhooks, all the deal with all the edge cases. Now, if you want to actually have it patch everything as well, now you're going to have to figure out this loop. You're going to have to make sure that the AI loop converges. You have to deal with death spirals. There's a lot of work you're going to have to do. You can build this. You can build some basic MVP, which will seem like it will work decent. And it will work decent, don't get me wrong. But if you want good quality, if you don't want to just waste time, and if you want something cheap, that's the reason why we added. Like, yes, it's extra cost to run reviews, but it's cost that those developers that understand the benefit that it gives you, they are willing to take the cost. Personally as well, I mean, I've been running review, and if I don't run a PR review after doing it for so long, and it's always finding bugs, no matter if it's Fable 5 or whoever wrote this, there's always going to be bugs. It doesn't matter if it's Fable 5 or 6 or Mythos, no matter what, there's always going to be some edge case or something that you haven't looked at, or some issue, or even some small, like, race condition that's always going to pop off. So without a code review pipeline, you can't, it's not even about identifying bugs, it's just about also being confident in your code, having confidence in your code. Some people get confidence different ways. I mean, you can get a confidence in your code by looking at the code, which I do sometimes, time to time. I do look at the code, especially when we're doing like some refactors. There's like some really big files, like thousands of lines file. Like, this doesn't look that good. This looks terrible. Why is app.tsx 3,000 lines, for example? You know, this is terrible. So I can show you guys something. I can do a let me see, usage. So we should to stop embarrassing ourselves, so to speak. Am I even on cursor now? To stop embarrassing ourselves, see, like app.tsx here is 3,700 lines. Obviously, that's not good. Same with this. So there's some stuff that needs to be refactored. We do have some some Claude usage here. So I'm gonna record this real quick. So I want to show you guys a cool workflow you can do if you have Claude Pro Max subscription and you're running this cursor. So first thing you do is you open Claude in the terminal, right? Just open Claude. Jeez. Okay. Let's clear this. So just open Claude in a terminal like this. Trust. Log in. Make sure you have your usage. So we have usage here. Current session. We have a little bit of Fable left. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is I could use this Fable, right? I could use Cursor's Fable. This is gonna pull from my account, Ultra account Cursor usage for my premium credits, right? Cool. But if I have a second sub, like I have a Claude Max Pro subscription, I wanted to pull. I want to invoke Fable from this, so it pulls my available usage credit, which is pretty much free, and I'm gonna get reset, right? So might as well max this out before I max out my monthly Fable 5 quota on Cursor. So if I want to do this, let's say I want to run this. I want to run an audit for a God file audit because God file audits pretty much. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just tell it. Okay, I would like you to scope out this issue first, do a basic analysis and basic investigation. I want to do a God file audit on the X-Copilot app, focusing on the front end and the back end. Essentially, I want you to identify any large files over 1,000 or 2,000 lines. I want you to plan a proper refactor plan in the phased plan with PRs. And the thing is, I want you to do the plan yourself first, just do the investigation first. But for the actual audit and for the actual plan, I want you to invoke Fable 5 on high using my Claude CLI. Make sure it uses my Pro Max usage, not my API usage. That's critical. And also make sure you're invoking Claude via my Claude subscription, not via Cursor. So the idea is Claude will create a .md report after doing the investigation, the follow-up investigation for the God files, and then you are going to render a beautiful canvas report for me so I can get through this step by step. Go ahead and do this now. Make no mistakes. I got to throw in the make no mistakes part. I had to throw in the make no mistakes part, by the way. So this is a pattern I've been using more and more lately. This also works great with Kimi. This works great with Grok, Beta, Build, whatever you want. Whatever CLI you want, just do it like this. Have it open already. If you don't, I mean, it doesn't matter. Another thing you can add, you can say make it a resumable session. So this one is, by default, it sometimes does the resume. You can resume it anyway, even if you don't make it resumable. But as you can see here, what it's going to do, the idea is I don't just throw it at Fable right away. What I do is I have Grok Cursor kind of do the basic investigation, do some analysis, give some context, and then fire off a nice clean prompt, AI to Fable, to do the real report, to write it, to implement, and to give me the phased plan on how to move forward. And finally, I give it back to Cursor. So I don't want Fable wasting time building canvas reports. It just needs to give me the MD report. And then Grok is going to take over again, and it's going to actually write the canvas report. This helps me save a lot of tokens on Fable. A lot of times, you don't want Fable just sitting there investigating. Sometimes it will fire off sub agents, but it's not going to use the correct models. Like, Fable through Cursor is almost cheaper. Why? Because when it fires off sub agents, which it loves to do, it just uses Grok Cursor 4.6, right? So it's not even using your Fable usage at that point. So half the time you're using Fable, but it's using sub agents that are not using Fable. The same style here. It's kind of like you just want to prepare the work for Fable and then just give it the nice prompt with all the extra annoying work you've already done, so that Fable can just focus on the real part, which is creating the report, doing the analysis, and stuff like this. Because, we don't need Fable to search our files and tell us which files are large. This is something Grok Cursor can do. And so this is what we have here. We have Grok Cursor essentially create a prompt for Fable. It's going to invoke this, and we'll see Fable usage will go up slowly as it runs. Sometimes it invokes it with the wrong permissions. It doesn't give it permissions, etc., etc. But really, the only critical thing I like to mention is make sure you tell it that it needs to use your Pro Max sub, because a lot of times and sometimes by default it will just use your API key, and that's gonna burn a hole in your pocket. Because why? You have usage available. You definitely don't want to use API key. So I don't know. Maybe lately it hasn't been doing this as much, but yeah, we still have a good amount of Fable left for this week, and I think it resets tomorrow probably, right? So this is a good time opportunity to use it. And I love to just use my Fable usage. And anytime I have extra Fable usage, if I really need to use it, I just run some audits. If I don't know what to use it for, especially that building, I love to use Fable for any hard PRs like we're doing with Mergestorm right now. A lot of times you do some feature plan where you want to implement a big feature. For example, we wanted to implement on Mergestorm the specialist, this extra specialist, the follow-up hiring, the sticky hiring, all that stuff, like a little upgrade to our protocol. So for that, I had Fable 5 do a full report on how we can implement this, create a phased plan for PS. I did not have it write any code. If we're talking about a really big feature like this, where it's like multiple, you're touching multiple lanes, multiple pipelines, we definitely have Fable first do not even a plan. It's a real report with a canvas report. And after that, you slowly work through it one PR by PR. And then each PR has a difficulty level that Fable gives you. And then based on a difficulty level, that's how we decide which models to use. So whether Fable 5, I like to use. So Fable 5 is what I use for the hardest difficulty problems. Soul 5.6 on medium is what I use for medium, medium problems, but medium/hard, like back end stuff. If it's anything that touches front end, I'm instantly leaning towards Fable. And I tell it to just give it that front end polish. Because Fable 5 just has that extra taste, There's nothing compares to it. So if anything touches the front end, even if it's a easy PR, I still use Fable for that. Anything medium back end stuff, yeah, GPT 5.6 Soul is pretty good. Just be careful. It will end up finding some edge case, and it always loves to find some sticky edge case and create some sort of invariant and kind of really just give you anxiety. And no matter what you throw at it, it's just going to find some weird edge case. And be like, what if the user does this? What are you going to do then? And it's like, oh, right, this is like that one edge case which kind of makes everything painful. And it's going to just hyper focus on that. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just something to keep in mind. So it's a lot better to have Soul work from a concrete plan, something that tells you this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. So Soul is really good. And then, yeah, obviously Grok Cursor 4.6 is what I use for most of my stuff. If it's anything easy, medium, or whatever, or some side projects, if I don't want to burn a lot of usage, I just use Grok Cursor 4.6. So this is going to take a while. Fable is a little bit slow, obviously. It takes some time. But just this is how you would invoke Fable. I'm sure, this is not hard to do, but it's just a nice workflow if you already have a Claude sub and you want to use it within Cursor. This is my favorite way to do this. I don't even have Claude. I don't use Claude Code. I don't use Codex. All I use is Cursor. Why would I use something else? I have the terminal right here, the file explorer, I have my editor right here, and I have as many tabs. I have 2 tabs here, another tab here, and not I don't need Codex or whatever else. I'm used to using VS Code. If I'm not in VS Code, I feel like I have this abstraction layer. Why? I need to look at the code sometimes. See how it took 2 seconds to look at apt.tsx, see that it's 3,700 lines, and fire off an audit to clear this out. So if I was using Codex, how often am I actually gonna take a look at any code? Probably never. And so that's how you get huge God files and 5,000 line files, and then you're like, why is Fable 5 struggling to edit this? Add this feature? Why is it making so many mistakes? You also have to make sure your code is refactored properly. If it's not refactored properly, there's no way to scale. Even AI is going to have a really hard time patching it and adding stuff to it. So this you have to go through a phase where you refactor your code, where you consolidate everything, where you run technical audits, architectural audits, security audits, God file audits, all noodle soup audits, you name it. Just get through as much audits as you can until you kind of feel comfortable and you're like, okay, I've spent a full week refactoring, stabilizing everything. We freeze any new feature additions. Okay, now the thing is that it really helps you that next time you want to add a feature, which is just inevitable. You always want to add one more feature or one more improvement. Well, refactoring is an improvement by itself. A lot of times when you're doing refactoring, you're finding some dead code or you're finding some paths which don't make sense and you're consolidating them. So overall, your system is getting better when you do refactors. It just obviously you don't want to go crazy over, just refactor over refactor after refactor is a fine balance. Obviously, if you do too many refactors and just continue to throw audits at it, you're also gonna waste time. You need to find a good balance. So, like I've done a refactor audit on Mergestorm. I'm not gonna run another one anytime soon. Why? We're just gonna add some more features. We're gonna just look at the architecture, do an architecture audit instead, and kind of move forward. So I think it's a good idea. Each person has their own, like, each developer I feel like has their own bar for how often they want to review their code or how often they want to consolidate or stabilize or pay off technical debt. So just make sure you do that, because if you never do that, that's how your code base grows. And it's not even about the code growing. It's also about your mental state and your relationship with the code base. If your code just keeps on growing and keep on adding features over and over and over, you start hunting more bugs, more bugs, more bugs, your relationship with the code is going to degrade. You're going to be like, you're not going to want to work on this because it's just going to feel like a mess in your head. So you don't want to work on this. You're going to feel like you want to start a new project. So the solution is just refactor your code. It's going to clear everything up in your head. Answer any questions you have about the code. Maybe some things you're not 100% about. You can verify the flows and how it actually works. And maybe the idea is to have your mental model match the actual code as much as possible. If your mental model, when you're growing your code base, the mental model will deviate eventually from the actual code because it grows, and sometimes AI will make changes that you don't necessarily approve of. So here, if you look at our usage, we already have 16% here, as you can see. So Fable is getting used. It just runs in the background. I could ask it to do some report. I just let it ride. So it just runs in the background. I don't like to do any new. Well, this is not changing any code. So technically, I could fire off a parallel tab here and do some more courses. Meanwhile, let me go back to our PRs. I believe it's done charting here. So yep, at least this one is done. This one is not quite done yet. This is I would like to just merge them in order, but we don't have to. Let's just land this one first. If this creates merge conflicts, this is a good idea. I'll show you guys how to resolve these conflicts with Cyclone, which is a one-tap conflict resolution thing. So actually, my food is here, guys. So I'm sorry it's a little bit of a shorter stream, maybe, but I showed you guys a nice little workflow here with Claude. So how to invoke Claude with via Cursor. It's really nice to do. I might just turn this into a small video so I can post this. Besides that, yeah, we continue to work on X-Copilot. We continuing to make it more engaging, and the whole point is, yeah, it's an AI that's whose whole job is to help you grow your X through replies. So far, so good. We keep it cooking, and thank you guys so much for checking out the stream. I'll see you guys in the next one.